So I've got some experience working overseas in Papua New Guinea. If you didn't know, Papua New Guinea is down at the bottom near Australia, just across from there. So it's quite different from here in Britain. I worked there with my sister because she'd been working there as well. Her role was working within the health sector. She was like a nurse cum doctor over there. So over in Papua New Guinea, they have exposure to more rare diseases that we don't get in Britain. So, for example, malaria. So she's working to try and develop an injection to stop that. She's also working to combat things like malnourishment. Typhoid is another one they have problems with over there, and yellow fever. So she works to try and prevent those causing as many deaths as they do. Something that really shocked me as well was something as simple as the common cold or flu over in Britain, where we can get treated for that so easily, can cause a lot of deaths somewhere like that where they don't have the NHS services that Britain do. So whilst I was there, I witnessed many a death. It's not very nice, but the worst thing is they're from such simple, easily combated things, such as a mosquito bite, something that in Britain you wouldn't even think twice about. It just be a bit itchy and a bit annoying. The problem over there is their immune systems just aren't as strong as ours, and malaria is one of those diseases that really, really combats the immune system and just breaks it down. So they're things that you just can't control the same over there. So one story that particularly stuck in my mind was the hospital was like on top of a mountain with a long windy path up to it, and I'd spotted this young boy walking up the path, but he looked almost drunk and not in control of his own body. So I alerted someone to the issue, and they had a look and they said, well, we'll wait till he gets here and have a look. It wasn't until a few hours later that he finally arrived at the winding path to the hospital, because it was so far and he was obviously walking so slow. And I mean, it became apparent while he was walking slow. He had this huge slash down from his shoulder to his torso, and his arm was almost hanging off. We couldn't believe it. We checked his dental records and found out that he was only 12, and how on earth could this have happened? So the young boy explained that his mum and dad were no longer with us. They died of malaria, and that he was just stealing from a shop just to keep himself alive, just to feed himself because he was so hungry. And the manager had spotted him and slashed him with this knife to stop him escaping. It's such a sad story, and with him being only 12, it's so tragic. I mean, this isn't a story that ends happily. The poor boy, his blood got infected and poisoned, and he did sadly pass away, and it really, really affected me. My sister has been working really hard, pulling together this programme and organising it, basically to try and help stop the spread of malaria, typhoid, yellow fever, and I mean, there has been some positive outcomes. However, you've got the issue that you can't control the amount of mosquitoes over there, so having an impact on malaria is really challenging. So there has been some positives and not so positive effects of the programme. However, injuries like the little boy had have been stopped by a new law brought in by the government that things like that aren't allowed to happen, because before there wasn't really any control over crimes and injuries like that, but there is now, so at least there's something good happening. So even after all this time, I've still got links and friends and communication over with Papua New Guinea, so I have an update of how things are going and the improvements that are happening, and it does seem positive. Hopefully I have everything crossed for the future of Papua New Guinea, and I hope that it can get a lot better over there.